Hi guys, in this month's top 5, I'm going to be sharing with you my 5 favorite things that I enjoy about Hocus Pocus. So it is the month of October, the month of Halloween, and for these top 5 videos, I am slowly kind of running out of things to do for the month of October, like themed towards Halloween. So I was like, what the hell, I'm going to do a top 5 favorite Hocus Pocus moments, the things that I enjoy about Hocus Pocus. If you don't know what Hocus Pocus is about, where have you been? What rock have you been living under? Because it seems like every damn channel shows it about 10-20 times a month in the month of October. Hocus Pocus is about a group of kids slash teens, and they accidentally bring back these witches known as the Sanderson sisters. And the Sanderson sisters lived like back in during the Salem witch trials and whatnot. And so yeah, through an accident, the witches, the Sanderson sisters, they come back to life in modern 1990s Salem, Massachusetts, and they wreck all hell loose and whatnot. And it's up to our main protagonists to stop the Sanderson sisters and kind of put them back where they belong, back in hell. So yeah, this is going to be me talking about my 5 favorite moments from Hocus Pocus, and yes, spoilers, you guys. At number 5, one of my favorite things that I enjoy about Hocus Pocus is the theme of family. More specifically, the brother-sister relationship between two sets of characters. You have the relationship between Max and Danny in the present, and then back in the 1600s during the Salem witch trials, you have the brother-sister relationship between Binks and his sister Emily. I love that aspect of the movie, the parallels between Emily and Binks and Max and Danny. I've always enjoyed that parallel. That, you know, back during the Salem witch trials, Binks was not able to save his sister. You know, he failed in that mission to save her, and she died, unfortunately, and then he in turn got cursed and turned into a cat. So in the modern scenario, it's almost as if, you know, Max could fail as well. You know, he could easily fail his sister and she could die, he could die. But it's really kind of almost this redemption story in a sense, you know, that, you know, Binks's failure is Max's success and win, you know. So I've always enjoyed that parallel, that sibling dynamic between the brothers and sisters and whatnot. Because then, yeah, when you get to that really emotional, happy conclusion, and Binks is finally reunited with Emily and whatnot, and there's Max and Danny, you know, holding each other as well, you know, and after they kind of spent a lot of time bickering, arguing with each other, you know, it's like they kind of realize what is important at the end of the day. It's their family bond, you know. That, you know, yeah, they'll bicker, they'll argue, they won't get along, they won't agree on things, but they love each other at the end of the day, you know. So I've always loved that parallel, that really wonderful, nice parallel, because then you do get that emotional catharsis right there at the very end with when Binks and Emily kind of finally move on into the afterlife, you know. And in the meantime, Max and Danny still have the time they have, and they need to keep on to that and remember what's important, you know. At number 4, I Put a Spell on You. Of course, everybody loves I Put a Spell on You. This is kind of the random middle interlude song, the musical number that happens in the movie. And you know what? This is how you do a musical interlude in a movie. It seems like nowadays in a lot of movies, for some reason there'll just be a random musical interlude that has nothing to do with anything, and sometimes it's just really cringy and it doesn't work and the song choice doesn't work. And Hocus Pocus is definitely a great example of a musical interlude that absolutely totally works, and it fits into the context of what is even going on in the movie. Because as you know from the movie, the kids, they all go into that Halloween party, and the Sanderson sisters are there, and then they get up on stage and start singing. And the thing is, the song is part of like an enchantment to put all the adults into, you know, a craziness, you know, that they keep on dancing and whatnot. So it works as part of the context of what's going on in this show. You know, the witches trying to keep the adults out of the picture and keep them oblivious to what is going on, you know? So yeah, this musical interlude, I've always loved it. It works because even in the second movie, because there was a sequel movie that came out on Disney Plus last year, and I think it had a couple random musical numbers, and they just weren't the same. You know, they just weren't entirely really the same, and they didn't entirely work in the same context and same manner. It's like the sequel was trying to kind of force it out because that's what worked so well with the first one, but it doesn't really give you that same sense of gratification, I guess, you know, and that sense of it working really well. So yeah, that's why I really like and enjoy the "I put a spell on you" scene, because in the context of the movie, it absolutely works and it doesn't feel strange or random or anything. At number 3, kind of tackling another theme of the movie, it is essentially a coming of age story. A lot of the movie is kind of focused on Max's journey more than anything, and yeah, he's a young man, and kind of part of the whole thing, you know, when he lights up the candle, the candle only comes to life because he's a virgin. And that's how the Sanderson sisters come back, you know, as part of the curse and whatnot. So there's kind of that aspect of it too, with him still being kind of an innocent young man at the end of the day, you know, before adulthood hits him, you know. So I love the coming of age aspects to this story, Max's journey, and yeah, his relationship with his parents, his relationship with his little annoying kid sister, his relationship and crush on Allison, and yeah, the fact that he kind of realizes he needs to take charge of this moment and protect his town, protect his sister, protect the girl that he likes, you know, because you see him early on in the movie getting bullied, and he doesn't really have kind of a confidence going into anything. And yeah, I think this movie definitely, the events of this movie definitely give him a much needed confidence in order to tackle life head on and face his bullies head on, you know. So that's part of what also makes this movie so great, is definitely the whole coming of age aspect, Max's journey, and it's very satisfying ultimately at the end of the day. At number 2, obviously, the Sanderson sisters are one of the best aspects of this movie. Yeah, the performances by all 3 actresses doing the Sanderson sisters just absolutely remarkable. You know, there's a reason why we love these characters decades and decades after the fact. They are just absolutely memorable. They're both comedic and terrifying all at the same time, and that's something that's kind of hard to pull off sometimes with villains. You know, if you're trying to make them comedic but also terrifying at the same time, sometimes that can be a little hard to tackle. But I think this movie manages to kind of do it in such a way that you love how eccentric you are, you love how peculiar they are, you love just their overall sense of humor, their relationship with one another, Winifred obviously being the one in charge, and Sarah kind of being considered the dumb blonde, and then poor Mary kind of just being in the middle, you know. It's like you love all that silliness and hilarity about them, but then yeah, you also really enjoy the fact that they are actually terrifying witches, because they're trying to kill you at the end of the day. They're trying to kill you, they're trying to suck your life force out, and you do feel a true threat from these women, you know, as the children are all coming through and Sarah's, you know, doing her little song and whatnot. It's all very genuinely terrifying, and you want your protagonist to win at the end of the day. So yeah, the Sanderson sisters are definitely a big reason why this movie works. And at number 1, my favorite thing about this movie, if you haven't already guessed it, Binks the cat. Oh my god. I even have a Binks plushie, you guys. That is how much I love Binks. Oh my god. I have always liked animals, but I think it was after Hocus Pocus that's when I realized how much I love cats, and that I always want to have cats in my life because they make me think of Binks. Binks, you know, he's a character who was human initially. He was cursed. He's been living for a couple centuries or whatever. All he wants is to redeem himself and make things right with his sister Emily, and he's kind of doing that through Max and Danny's relationship, you know. Yeah, Binks is just such a great character. He's smart, clever, intelligent. He's definitely the smartest person amongst the group. And he has that world weariness, you know, he has that age weariness, and he's seen things, done things. He's forever trapped as being a freaking cat, and he can't escape it. He's just such a wonderful character. I love Binks. So you guys, that is it for my top 5 favorite things that I enjoy about the movie Hocus Pocus. In the comments below, maybe I have left out something that you enjoy, whether that's a particular theme or a character or a scene, whatever that is. Definitely give me your favorite moments from Hocus Pocus. I would love to hear what other people think of as kind of their favorite things. So yeah, that is it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye, guys.